What is going on, Cubs fam? We are back for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, and we had an amazing kit reveal hit yesterday for Moff Gideon. I do not know about you guys, but this is probably the most hype I have been for a marquee character release in a very long time. This to me looks like a meta-defining character that CG has decided to release here. It's a character I think that's really easy for all of us to get behind. I think he's going to take troopers to new heights, which they're already being risen to new heights because of Admiral Piet, but we are going to see this on a whole other level. And in this video, I want to talk about what I am specifically amped about for his kit. I really feel like he is going to be beating Galactic Legends. Write it down. Put it on your calendars. Moff Gideon coming to the holo tables, trumping Galactic Legends. Now, we already see this happening with Sith Eternal. We've seen teams that have been able to topple Sith Eternal. I'm really curious to see if this is going to translate to Rey and Jedi Master Luke teams in particular. Remains to be seen. I also feel like he's going to have some amazing standalone use. You won't be able to take advantage of all of his kit, but there's still some really great stuff in there. So let's break this down. I want to talk about specifically what has me all amped for Moff Gideon. Now, I want to call out, first of all, in case there's any confusion, he is going to be a marquee character unless something changed with Capital Games. They announced in the road ahead that he would be a marquee character. It says Moff Gideon will initially be unlocked from an upcoming marquee event. And so we've seen obviously the last couple characters have come through Galactic Challenges, IG-11 and Queel, and now we're going back to marquee. So they do plan on doing both. They said that they were planning on doing both. We're actually seeing that, and I'm all about it. I'm all about it. But here's a couple abilities I want to talk about, and then there's some other insights about his kit that they share here that I think are really cool. Now, the first biggest one I think is his unique ability. Actually, this unique ability is pretty disgusting. At the start of Moff Gideon's first turn of each encounter, he inflicts demoralized on all enemies. This does not include raids until they are defeated. And look at what demoralized is. Minus 50% offense, minus 25% critical chance, minus 25% critical damage. Does not stack with other debuffs. This is like a marquee character, guys, that is almost Galactic Legend status. He's like manipulating mastery stats basically with minus 50% offense. Now, it's obviously not quite Galactic Legend level, because if you kill him, or if you, let's see, if you defeat Moff Gideon or the encounter ends. So yeah, just if you defeat Moff Gideon, the only way to get rid of that is defeat him. Once he's gone, then you're gonna have that effect vanish, but still very big there. And notice that's not dependent on him being in a troopers team. That's not dependent on him even being in a dark side team. That just happens. Now, the other ability that's like that makes me think he's going to have some legitimate standalone use here is control the situation. Now, this does have a pretty big cooldown of 6, and so this may be what kind of tempers this ability. But check this out. All Imperial Trooper allies are called to assist, which is far from the best part of this ability. And then everybody loses 100% turn meter, can't be resisted, and then your allies gain 25% turn meter. And then notice this last part of this attack is not contingent on having Imperial Troopers. The assist is, but this is not. Tank allies gain taunt for 2 turns. Attackers gain offense 50% for 2 turns, and support allies gain 100% protection up. And so what you're doing is you're buffing every character on your team, whether they're troopers or not, and you're going to ensure that you're going to guarantee that everybody goes. It's like everybody gets a turn immediately because everyone gets set to nothing, and then your whole team gains 25% turn meter. So boom, 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 and then whatever turn meter gain you get in there, you may even get more than 5 turns as a result. Control the situation is absolutely OP, and I think people are going to start using this with Galactic Legends. I think you're going to see Moff Gideon in Sith Eternal teams. I think people are going to try him out with Kylo. Why not try him with light side Galactic Legends? I think he's gonna have a lot of use. So these abilities, in my opinion, are some of the most OP marquee character abilities we've seen since Annihilate with Darth Nihilus. Now, we've got a lot of other things to talk about in his kit that I think are really cool. I don't want to bust everything out. I do love the Darksaber lens, or the Darksaber lunge. I can talk. It's a little bit late. But here's something that I think is really cool in his leader ability. Now, if you are going to use him as a leader, you are almost for sure going to want to use him in a full Imperial Trooper team. And I really feel like Imperial Troopers are going to legit have viability in this game. Like, legit viability because of this. At the start of the battle, if Moff Gideon has exactly 1 dark side tank ally, 2 dark side attacker allies, and 1 additional dark side support ally. It's very specific, but I think that's going to be pretty easy to manage. All dark side allies gain 30% max health and max protection. That's going to be dope on a Relic Shore Trooper. If all allies are Imperial Troopers, whenever an enemy with the leader tag uses an ability, I just lost my place. There it is. Imperial Trooper allies gain 10% offense stacking till the end of the encounter. This is ridiculous. Now, the synergy is really interesting. He's punishing anybody else who's a leader, which I think, if you look at, like, Gus, I call him Gus because I love Breaking Bad, and he plays Breaking Bad, or he plays Gus in Breaking Bad. And the way he is in The Mandalorian, he's smarter than you. He's going to punish you for your strengths. And I love how this just makes so much sense with him, that he is going to be out in front there, and he's going to punish the leaders. You want to lead me? You want to try to out-lead me? Well, guess what? We're going to gain a lot of offense every time you take an ability. And notice, that's not just leaders in the leadership slot. It's leaders in general. Anybody who has a leader tag. So the offense gain, it stacks to the end of the encounter. Whenever an enemy with the leader tag takes a turn, Moff Gideon gains 1 stack of insight, which helps him get his extra ability. And then Imperial Trooper allies gain 40% offense and revive at 50% health and protection the first time they're defeated on each encounter. So it's kind of like a little bit of a Night Sister thing going on there. This is stupid when you consider this is where I feel like troopers could legitimately counter the meta. Just look at this right now. Look at how many leaders are in all of these teams. This Rey team here, Rey's a leader, Kenobi's a leader, Jedi Revan's a leader, Anakin's a leader. 4 leaders there. So that's 10% offense every time they do anything, basically, unless Hermit Yoda's taking a turn. This team, same way. Jedi Revan, Jedi Luke, Jedi Master Luke, Anakin. 4 leaders in almost all of these teams. And it's the same for almost everything. I mean, this isn't going to necessarily counter, for example, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. There's not as many leaders in that team, but you still have Hux. You still have Supreme Leader. You still have Crew. That's 3 leaders. And so still 3 out of 5, you're going to have that offense stack just ramp up over and over and over again. Moff Gideon's going to get insight over and over and over again. And so look, it still remains to be seen what this is going to look like once it comes to the game, but the language here in the kit has me hype. For anyone who has Imperial Troopers, you guys are going to want to go for this. I think this is a character that I could say, if you are somebody who wails, this is the character to wail on. If you're a selective whaler, you know, you wail maybe every other character, maybe you wail once every 4 or whatever, you kind of evaluate. I think this is the one to go for. I'm pretty much wanting to do this ASAP because he looks freaking phenomenal to me. Now, I want to call out a couple things here that I think are really cool in the inspiration for their kit. Something that I really, really like and admire about this game is when they can take a character and pay homage to what the character's place in the lore is. I think they've done a very good job of that with Moff Gideon. I've already kind of talked about that a little bit, but listen to what their explanation is. This is actually just in their developer insight section, which I think too many people gloss over. You guys should read this. There's a lot of really good nuggets in here sometimes. But the inspiration here, know your adversaries, is based on the scene. So they're basing this on a specific scene in Season 1 where Moff Gideon knows way more than we expected him to about Din, Cara Dune, and Greef Karga. this had a psychological effect on them that this ability represents with the demoralized debuff. How cool is that? A specific call out to that moment where he just absolutely demoralized them and kind of rendered them speechless. Very cool. And then Mando was able to take Mando out of the fight by blowing up the E-Web power pack instead of attacking him directly. This is one of his more memorable moments in the show, and we represent this by the insight stacks he gains and the subversive volley ability they unlock. And if you look at subversive volley, so once he gets 4 stacks, he gains this ability right here. Deal physical damage to all enemies and daze them for 2 turns. This daze can't be resisted by enemies with the leader tag. And then again, there's that anti-leader synergy. Moff Gideon's like, I'm the leader. I'm the boss. And then Moff Gideon loses stacks of insight, which he'll gain back quickly, assuming you've got an Imperial Trooper team. And then while Moff Gideon never uses the Darksaber in the Stinger for the final episode of season 1, we never see him fight with it since this version of the character is based entirely on screen time in season 1. We knew that we had to include the Darksaber, but we left it to function identically to Sabine's special. And I think that's fine. I kind of wish that they had him just wielding it, but I can respect that. Now, I also think it's really funny here, down here, if you guys missed. I'm excited to see what the Darksaber will look like in game. Cries in Sabine. You all really don't use her, do you? Well, whose fault is that, CG? Huh? That's not my fault. It's not my fault that I don't use her. You want me to use Sabine? Well, freaking make her a good character. Anyway, that's my rant for this video. So, at the end of the day, I just wanted to call out how much viability I think Moff Gideon's gonna have. I think you're gonna get a lot of use out of him as a full Imperial Trooper team. I also feel like his kit has some very applicable standalone potential. Remains to be seen once he comes to the game, but as soon as he drops, guys, come check out my Twitch stream. We'll be unlocking him live, and I'm gonna be real tempted. I'm gonna be teetering on the edge on whether or not we're gonna wail for him or not. So come and either be a bad influence or good influence. I don't know which one I'm wanting right now. Probably the bad influence. If anyone wants to come be a bad influence, please do it, because you know what? I want this guy at Relic 7 right now. I don't even care. I want him. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining me for the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. We need to get 50,000 subs on this channel, guys. We're getting a lot closer to pulling it off. All right, fam, I'm going to jump out. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, my brothers, don't forget,